Hello, hello, and welcome to my TED Talk. I'm just kidding. I give my TED Talks in the shower. So no, today I'm going to be giving you some tips on how to get 5 new postpartum doula clients in the next 30 days. So these tips are going to help you get clients right away, and then also build momentum to get clients in the coming weeks, months, years, whatever. I am the Doula Darcy, and my whole thing is that I am here to help you help more moms. I have been a postpartum doula now for 10 years. I built a thriving business. And before I had my kids, before I became a doula, I worked in advertising and marketing for 10 years. And that is I needed to rely on that experience, excuse me, as I launched my own business. And that was really the key to my success, my marketing knowledge. So now I am sharing that with all of you. I have a program called the Postpartum Doula Academy, which is a 3-month small group experience. And I'll talk more about that later. But in that, I am doing, one-on-one coaching, group coaching. There's modules to watch. It gives you all the tools you need to market your postpartum doula business. So hi, Emily. Hi, Danielle. Nurture by Nature. Oh, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. So I am going to do my best to answer comments and questions as they come in. But we are in crazy times right now with a global pandemic and, stay-at-home orders or self-quarantining orders in certain states and cities, and hospitals not allowing visitors. It's a crazy time to be a doula. It's a crazy time to be human. But the thing is that people are still having babies, and these new moms need us more than ever. Postpartum depression rates are skyrocketing. Postpartum anxiety rates are skyrocketing. And, there's some little blessings that are coming out of this, like partners are home more, parents aren't getting, exhausted by having an influx of visitors. But in general, new moms are home alone, even in more isolation than normal. And the normal rate of isolation is not even good. So our role as postpartum doulas is essential, and we need to be out there working. And I'm talking to so many of you who are just overwhelmed by the pandemic, overwhelmed by marketing, overwhelmed by how to do this virtually. Should you do it in person? There's just so much going on. I'm hearing so many of you that are just kind of frozen and not doing anything, or not doing as much as you want to be doing. So let's kind of get you out of that overwhelm and get you out there helping and serving new families. So my number one tip for getting some postpartum doula clients right now, people that need you right now. Hi, Viviana, sorry. Is to take the leap and reach out to the birth doulas in your immediate area. Sit down at Google, do a Google search, do a doulamatch.net search, find all the birth doulas, figure out who is offering virtual birth doula support. Reach out to them first, because that means if they're working with clients virtually as a birth doula, that's like the low-hanging fruit. So if they're already used to virtual birth doula support, they're primed for virtual postpartum doula support. They already know what a doula is. They're already open to virtual support. So, in some cases, birth doulas are offering maybe they're offering 1 or 2 follow-up postpartum visits. But if reach out to them and be like, hi, I'm a postpartum doula and I'm offering virtual sessions right now, and in-person sessions, whatever you're doing, explain to them what you're doing, here's a link to my virtual offerings. Here's what I'm working with 1 client in person right now, 2, whatever, depending on your area and your comfort level, tell them what you have available right now. And make connections that way, via email, meet for a virtual Zoom, or if you can, have coffee with these birth doulas, or tea, whatever, but network with the birth doulas. That is the low-hanging fruit of, and I would say like the easiest way to get clients ASAP, who are, finding women who've given birth in the past couple of weeks, giving birth right now, and who are due, in the next few weeks. So birth doula, and what I always suggest is reach out in a way that is not threatening. Make it clear that you want to collaborate, you want to help, you want to support. You're not trying to steal clients from them. Many doulas fall into this like scarcity mindset trap of they don't want to even talk to each other or refer clients back and forth because they think it'll affect their own business. So if you reach out to network with them in a way that is coming from an abundance mindset, that you're not here to take business from them, kind of work that into your message with them. My second tip of someone to reach out to for low-hanging fruit, in addition to your local birth doulas in your area, reach out to the local chiropractors in your area. I am a big fan of chiropractic care in general, but what I've found over the past 10 years is that I don't know what they teach in chiropractic school, but there's got to be a class or a session on networking, because chiropractors, and maybe it's just in my area, but I think it's in general, chiropractors are excellent at networking, and they're open to networking. So they're, usually receptive to meeting you for coffee or having you come by their office to drop off cards, or, chat for 10 minutes about what your postpartum, the role of a postpartum doula. So again, reaching out in a way that is helpful to them, like saying, hi, I see that you're a Webster certified chiropractor. I'm looking for Webster certified chiropractors to refer clients to. I get that, asked that a lot, and talk, or, whatever. Me personally, I get lots of people that just email me and say, my baby's breech, what can I do? So, reaching out to chiropractors, say, I'm always referring people to chiropractic care for turning a breech baby or discomfort in pregnancy. So, show that why chiropractic care is helpful to pregnant women, and that you're looking for someone to refer. And then I guarantee they're going to be happy to respond. And then you can, when you do meet with them, you can talk to them and say, I'm a postpartum doula. You help them physically feel better, get their nervous system aligned. I help them with making sure mom's eating a snack and taking care of baby so she can nap. So tell these chiropractors the role of the postpartum doula, kind of where you see yourself kind of working together with these chiropractors, and whether that, and so give them your cards, or if you're just reaching out in a email, send them a link and explain, especially now, how you're offering virtual support, and why it's so important now. So, and then, by the way, if you need help with how to offer virtual support, I have a set class that's separate from the Postpartum Doula Academy. You will actually get free access to it if you join the Postpartum Doula Academy. But it's called Take Your Postpartum Doula Business Virtual. It's $97. If you use the coupon code FB for Facebook Live and the number 1, you'll save 30%. So you get it for $70. This teaches you how to price your virtual postpartum doula sessions, how to package them. There's templates and tons of ideas of how to package your postpartum doula sessions. It covers the technology that you can use. I offer a high-tech version, a low-tech version for actually doing the sessions, and like a calendar to set it up and accept payments and all that. And then what to actually cover in a virtual postpartum doula session. And then lots of tips on marketing that, how to get clients to find out about your virtual services. So this class has been super popular since this whole COVID-19 pandemic. I've gotten so much great feedback. Doulas are loving it because they're like, oh my God, this paid for itself in a matter of days because I got 3 new clients. So take your Postpartum Doula Business virtual. I will give you the link right now in the Facebook group. All right, yes, and someone on Instagram is saying it's amazing if you've tried virtual services, taking the virtual class is a definite must. So thank you for that awesome unsolicited testimonial. So here's the link, save 30%, coupon code FB Live. Okay, awesome. So birth doulas, chiropractors, and that's going to give you the low hanging fruit. Chiropractors are also, it's good to mention, like lots of, I always refer babies and moms to chiropractors, especially if they're just uncomfortable breastfeeding. Sometimes babies just need some gentle adjustments to help with latch. So chiropractors are a great resource to have. And again, they will refer back to you as well and are open to meeting with you for networking. So another thing that has been coming up in these free 15-minute strategy sessions that I've been having with you guys, which I love doing, so please book one if you haven't already. And I'm seeing it in our, all our doula Facebook groups and stuff about how, like, again, and I addressed this before, like it's overwhelming with this global pandemic and how to offer virtual support, how to offer in-person support, and how are people going to even find out about me, and what should I do? And maybe there's a pandemic, maybe I shouldn't promote myself. Maybe that seems weird to ask people to pay. Like, we're throwing out all these excuses. And then another way this comes up is I see, new doulas who have, you've trained and certified, but you don't have the experience yet. So I've met so many people who have, they're like, oh, I did my training and then the pandemic happened, so I'm not working. You need to work. These moms need you. So sometimes it comes down to confidence. Sometimes it comes down to marketing skills and ability. And so what I want you to do is imagine your ideal client. So obviously, as postpartum doulas, we will support all new parents, all families, but we all have kind of our favorite kinds of clients to work with. So I'll give you the example of mine. My ideal client, my favorite client, these are the clients that you love working with them. It's like you skip to work, and then like when they pay you, you're so surprised, like you don't feel like you even should be paid because you just love helping these families so much. So mine is the moms who were in labor for a really long time, pushed and pushed and pushed, and then ended up with a C-section and are now home with their baby and feeling like a failure, feeling like their body failed them, and feeling like a bad mom and a failure as a person and a woman and a mother, and just in pain and tired and needing support. So that's my ideal client. So you have some version of your own favorite client. And one of my business coaches, Amber Lillystrom, talks about how we're all here serving a former version of ourselves. And if you kind of think of that, and that's so true for me, I mean, the ideal client I just described was me home with my first baby after a C-section and feeling miserable. So, every time I do help a client like that, it's like healing. And the good thing about this is if you're targeting and marketing and speaking to a former version of yourself, you know how to talk to them. So I want you to imagine that ideal client. And even if it's not a former version of yourself, I don't mean to say you have to have had, you don't even have to have had a baby to be a doula. So, but you are called to doing doula work. What is it? What issue called you to this work? What is it that lights that fire in your heart and brings a tear to your eyes about the postpartum time period that makes you want to help new parents? I want you to imagine that mom at home right now, watching the news about the global pandemic, struggling to feed her baby, struggling because her baby's crying all the time, struggling because she doesn't know what to do and doesn't know, and no one can come over and help her. When you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and you don't have the confidence to offer support to a new mom, you're overwhelmed by social media, and you don't have the, you don't want to put yourself out there and post on social media. I want you to imagine this ideal client at home and just talk to her. Write one little Facebook post as though you are talking to her. Target her in your mind, or just bring that up in your mind to get that fire lit, get that tear in your eye, to give you the motivation, confidence, chutzpah, whatever you need to get out there and serve these parents. This is what, this is how, and obviously, like, we all have ebbs and flow in our energy, and sometimes even I need some motivation. So I just picture that, bring that up, and use that as your inspiration to keep going. I say this all the time in my yoga birth method workshop that I teach. This is from Dorothy Guerra, the yoga birth method. She says, and it's true, in labor, movement is the key to progression. Like she's saying, take a walk, do some yoga. Keeping moving is the key to keeping your labor progressing. Turns out the same is true for your postpartum doula business. Movement is the key to progressing, to keeping your business moving forward, to getting that next client. So you just every day take a little step, whether it's one Facebook post, whether it's that you Sammy launched your website, whether it's that you joined the Postpartum Doula Academy. Do something every day to move your business forward, to get that next client. So that is my motivation, to help you with the confidence and the you have the guts to put yourself out on social media if that's something that you're struggling with, because you have so much to offer. Even if you are brand new and haven't had your first client yet, like, again, picture this new mom at home. She just needs someone to listen to her and offer support in a non-judgmental way, and maybe some gentle suggestions. You have so much to offer. And so don't let that imposter syndrome take over, when you start to think, well, who am I to do this? I don't, what would I do for a new mom? You have so many skills and things to offer a new mom. So I always give the example of, like, think of Ina May Gaskin and like what she's done for the birth world and the natural birth, vaginal birth movement. Like, what if Ina May Gaskin was like, oh, I don't know. I don't think that, I don't know, I'm kind of scared to be a midwife. Like, what if she didn't have the guts to go to the farm and be a midwife? Never mind write a book and write another book and write another book and give TED Talks. And, think of the people, Ina May Gaskin, doulas, mothers, think of the people Ina May Gaskin has influenced. Like, what if she had succumbed to imposter syndrome and just stayed home and not become a midwife and not written those books? So your work is valuable in the world, and we need you out there doing it. So don't let confidence, don't let marketing, don't let that little itty bitty shitty committee in your head hold you back from doing this work. So that is, all right, my other idea is, and this, by the way, is my hidden superpower is that I get talking and I just start coming up with ideas of how to market your business. And that's what I do in these 15-minute strategy sessions. So if you want to book one, let's do it. Let's get my superpowers working for your business. But so another thing you can do, and maybe part of this is when you're reaching out to the birth doulas, you know, start a Facebook group for your area and make it be super current. It could be pregnant and postpartum in ABC town during COVID. And, you know, say that the mission of the group is to have new parents be able to connect, share information on what, you know, protocols at local hospitals and you know, and the pediatricians. So I have a local Facebook group with some of my doula pals, and it's been awesome. And we kind of just started it on a whim, and it very quickly like blew up to 100 people in a matter of a couple days, which, I mean, I live in New Hampshire. Like I couldn't even believe there was 100 people pregnant in a week. So, and it's now grown, it's over, I don't even know, but it's several hundred now. And it's been awesome. You know, people are like, oh, I was just at such and such a hospital and my husband had to wear a mask when he went in the hall. And, you know, they're sharing like what the current situations are, and then making connections. And then, you know, as the doulas, you know, we go in. And so in the Facebook group that you create, whether you do it on your own or you band up with some other doulas or whatever, chiropractors, it could be whatever, birth workers in your area. But I always say, like, spread the doula spirit in the group, you know, share resources, share non-judgmental support, keep things positive, keep things light, and let people kind of get to know you through your posts and your comments. And then every once in a while you throw in and like, oh, by the way, I do offer virtual postpartum doula sessions. Here's the link. You know, it's a great place to share your offerings if you're teaching an online class, or if you are doing in-person support, you know, whatever, promote anything that you're offering right now. That can be a great way to get some new clients and some new business. And then even, you know, the other thing with all this, even if you don't get clients right away, you're building your rapport with the people in the area. And, you know, they're going to remember that 6 months from now when they're pregnant, or when their best friend is pregnant, blah, 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 blah. Like, this just grows. Like, everything you do, that momentum that you build, every step you take, it all grows and builds momentum and will, you know, definitely pay off eventually. So, but a Facebook group can also pay off immediately. So use that Facebook group to promote your current offerings, you know, sprinkle in your promotions here and there. And, oh, another idea just came to my head and then it left again. It'll come back. So, I don't know. It'll come back to me. So yeah, so I am here to help you. Emily says that she needed to hear that like you wouldn't believe. Thank you. She's talking about the, I'm sure, my inspirational speech about, you know, the world needs you. So I'm glad that that helped you, Emily. So I have that's what I was going to say. Another thing, immediate call to action is, you know, sit down and decide what you are offering in terms of in-person support. So, you know, I'm hearing from a lot of postpartum doulas that are like, I'm working with one family at a time in person, and then the rest virtually. So if you don't have that family booked and you are able to work with one, like, make a Facebook post, like, and state your in-person protocols. And I'll tell you mine in a minute, but so for instance, be like, for the month of August, I am booking one family that I can work with in August. I will be wearing a mask, da, 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 da. Here's what I do. Contact me now to secure this spot for yourself, you know, and explain what a postpartum doula does. So it's called creating a sense of urgency. Like, there's only one spot available. You need to book it ASAP if you want it. And because of COVID, usually I work with 3 or 4 families at a time, but right now, to keep everyone safe, I'm only working with one family. So you need to snag that spot right away. So it's also called asking for the sale. Post on Instagram, post on Facebook, share when you're reaching out to the birth doulas, when you're reaching out to the chiropractors, post in your Facebook group, like, I have one spot available. So if you want it, you need to contact me right now. So speaking of that, hold on, let me see. I hope that I'm seeing all the questions. If not, I will go back and answer them. So speaking of that, there are only 6 spots left for the next session of the Postpartum Doula Academy that starts next week. If you are needing this inspiration, if you are needing this momentum, the Postpartum Doula Academy is for you. It's only open to 10 doulas at a time. So it's nice and small. We have a Facebook group where you can get daily support from me and the other doulas. And this is where we post here's my webpage that I'm working on. Here's my social media post I'm going to do. What do you guys think? Here's what happened with a client. What would you guys do in this situation? So that's where you get 24/7 support. There's also 10 modules on all aspects of marketing for your postpartum doula business that you just watch as needed. It's all self-paced, and you have lifetime, sorry, there's a bird flying by. You have lifetime access to these modules. And then there are so many expert interviews that I've done over the past, and you will have lifetime access to those too, and any that I do in the future. But there are I have 2 great Instagram experts that I've interviewed. The website doula has 2 interviews in there, one on creating a good website, one on search engine optimization. That one was gold. Kate Northrup on harnessing the power of your cycle in your business. I talked to a social worker about reflective listening, and how a Pinterest expert. So anyway, each month there's a new expert that I interview. You have access to all those. It's all marketing. And then we have our monthly group calls, which are a Zoom call where 10 of us come together, and that's your chance for one-on-one time with me. The other doulas chime in. You learn so much from what the other doulas bring up, and then this is your chance to get your specific questions answered in person. It's really powerful. And then you have this group cheering you on. And just the doulas that join make a lot of progress, and it's really a powerful program. I would love to have you join. If you use the code FBLive1, FB Facebook Live 1, you'll save 30%. There's a 6-month payment plan option, a 12-month payment plan option. DM me or comment with any questions. I would love to have you join me. Like I said, there's 6 spots left. And I was actually just interviewed on a podcast, and she made the Thriving Birth Worker podcast. Erin made the analogy of, like, when you have a baby, you don't even realize that you don't know what you don't know, and that you need support. It's impossible to do it alone. And doing it, making some mom friends, having a postpartum doula just makes it all better and easier. So that's what the Postpartum Doula Academy is. It's that, not to be cheesy, but it's like a doula for doulas. So it's that your close-knit group of new mom friends, other postpartum doulas who are working towards similar goals as you. It's support from someone who's been there before. I've been a postpartum doula for 10 years. 10 years before that, I worked in advertising and marketing. So it puts you on a fast track to success. Saves you so much time and money. Everybody who's joined has said it eventually pays for itself, because you just get so many new clients. So I would love to have you be a part of this next session of the Postpartum Doula Academy. So shoot me a private message or comment if you want some more information. So Lisa says, thanks for sharing, Darcy. I purchased the virtual support class and it helped so much. I have my packages together and I'm working on updating my website. Yes, I love it, Lisa. That is awesome news. That is fantastic. So yes, the Take Your Postpartum Doula Business Virtual is, like I said, that's only $97. You get it free if you join the Academy. But if you want to just a little bit of support on taking your Postpartum Doula Business Virtual, that class is available. You can use the same coupon code to save 30%, FBLive1. So that brings it down to $70. Such a deal. That covers how to price your postpartum doula sessions virtually. I mean, how to, what to charge for your virtual sessions, how to organize them, how to package them. I give you so many ideas on how to package them and what the options are for virtual postpartum doula support. I talk about what to cover in your virtual sessions, and then how to get clients to find out about it. And then there's another bonus episode on 10 summer specials that you can use to promote your virtual offerings. So those are my 2 ways that I am here to help you help more moms. Follow me on Instagram at the Doula Darcy. I'm always going live. I'm always sharing tips. If you watch my stories, I'm always, giving free marketing advice for postpartum doulas. So this is what I love. Debbie says, Darcy, what are you using for a source for your safety guidelines? I made them up. So actually, I'm glad you asked that, because I did promise that I would cover that in this session. So I'm in New Hampshire, where there are not a lot of cases of COVID. So things have really started to open up in terms of businesses, but I am working with multiple families, and they all know that. I'm just very clear with everybody. So I am working with multiple families. I wear a mask. I wash my hands like crazy when I first walk in. I put on new clothes before I go. Wash my hands like crazy at first, and then throughout the visit. And then I'm not hugging new moms. I put a special clause in my contract that it's very legally, but and you'll get that in the Take Your Postpartum Doula Business Virtual. But I have a clause about how to that they can't sue me if they somehow catch COVID from me. And yeah, so I'm just being very upfront with my clients. So I know other doulas in other areas. I've seen, people share with me that they're wearing gloves, or that they're like covering their hands with a blanket if they pick up a baby, or they're only burping baby on their knee, like not holding a baby like this, things like that. So you really have to, I would just suggest good communication, good hand washing, wear a mask. I personally don't want the family to wear a mask in their own home. I think that would be strange for them. And I'm okay with that. Excuse me. So that is what I'm doing right now for COVID. So please reach out if you have any questions. I love doing these Facebook Lives. And like I said, my passion is to get you out there working with new moms. They need us now more than ever. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you so much for tuning in today. This was great. And I look forward to hearing from you. If you want to snag one of those spots in the Postpartum Doula Academy, or the Take Your Postpartum Doula Business Virtual, please reach out if you have any questions, and have a great day.